The latest rumor indicates that Marvel Studios will not greenlight a second season of She-Hulk due to poor audience reception. Let's get into this rumor here. Wrote this up on That Park Place earlier this week. Rumor She-Hulk Attorney at Law season 2 probably not going to happen due to poor audience reception. Before we dive into this article, I'd please like to ask if you could please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. But let's get into this here. This latest rumor comes from Scooper Thwip T on X, who posted She-Hulk originally planned to have a season 2, but due to poor reception, it's probably not going to happen. The show did indeed have extremely poor premiere viewership ratings after it debuted on August 18, 2022 on Disney Plus. You can see here it did not even chart on Nielsen's top 10 list for the week of August 15 through the 21st. It had lower viewership than 10th placed Instant Dream Home, which only garnered 395 million minutes viewed. So we know it did less than 395 million minutes viewed. And I would be remiss if I didn't point out that this is already segmented for original. So it doesn't even include the overall top 10 chart. So even if you just do original stuff, it didn't hit that top 10 list in its premiere week. It did eventually somewhat gather an audience. We saw that the season finale, which aired on October 13, 2022, did draw in 526 million minutes viewed as reported by What's on Disney Plus. We also had confirmation from that from our good friend Now It's Known, or Mac, over on X, who shared a screenshot for us. And then not only did it have poor viewership, though, it had really bad audience scores. So on IMDb, the series currently has an abysmal 5.3 out of 10, with an overwhelming 30% of reviewers giving it a 1 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, the show has a rotten 32% average audience score. You can see right there from 10,000 over 10,000 plus reviews. Interestingly, though, this latest rumor from Thwip does fly in the face of a previous rumor from Scooper My Time to Shine Hello, who claimed a second season of the show would indeed be made. This My Time to Shine Hello posted this back at the end of August. She-Hulk season 2 is happening, or should I say will happen, post strikes. And I thought the odds of a second season also seemed to be high, given Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige had high praise for the show and defended its controversial storyline and tone. This is what he said back in February to Entertainment Weekly. She-Hulk, for example, was an experiment. Let's just do a legal comedy. What if Ally McBeal was a superhero? How do we do a legal sitcom with an incredibly expensive CG character in the middle of every episode? And I couldn't be happier with the tone that Jessica Gao has set for that. It's a very different tone than many of the other projects they have, and that was tonally intentional. As for the show's tone, the series' head writer Jessica Gao informed Variety in October 2022. The fact that we were able to predict what the reaction was going to be, what a lot of the trolling comments were going to be, really shows how very tired and unoriginal these trolls are. That really tickled me, because the little troll that lives inside of me really loves trolling the trolls. So I think that tone was created out of spite. And that's what she's saying right there. We even have actress Tatiana Maslany, who played She-Hulk. She was also asked about expecting to face trolls when she signed on the role. She told Variety, reading the script, it was so true. There's so much resistance to a woman just existing in that space of superheroes. There's always going to be that. I sort of anticipated it. An absolute lie, gaslight. We'd seen X-Men, very prominent female characters in that franchise. No one had any issues with them. In fact, people love them. So just utterly ridiculous gaslighting here from Tatiana Maslany. Clearly not understanding that people aren't criticizing the fact that there are females or women in superhero films. It's the fact that they are making them feminist and preaching to the audience through the female characters. And that is what people are upset about. Or they're preaching through some other kind of evil ideology. Usually it is feminism, though, in this case. She then added, it's why I also feel it's important. There's such an entitlement to space held by certain people, and to even exist as She-Hulk is like a FU, and I love that. That's utterly ridiculous. She-Hulk has been around, I think, since like the 70s. Very beloved character by comic book fans. So the idea that her existing is an FU to them just doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and just shows Maslany's complete and utter ignorance. And the fact, I think, proves that the show was made out of spite, and they really wanted to kind of stick the knife in and twist it when it comes to their actual audience. Because the people that Marvel Studios has now hired to make these shows hate the people that like their shows and movies, or the ones they previously made. We even had one of the show's directors, Kate Coro, telling Variety, one thing I noticed is that at the beginning of the series, I was getting a lot of nasty, mean comments. As it's gone forward, that has stopped. I think it's because now they realize when they target us, they're playing directly into our hands, and we called it, which is pretty gratifying. It's so satisfying. She added, even negative commentary, I always interpret as engagement. If people are that angry, they are paying attention. I look at all of it as positive. That's really interesting because she literally said they stopped actually engaging with her and they stopped having that negative commentary. So clearly, either you're not really connecting the dots here, Kat, because it looks like people actually maybe just stopped watching. Obviously, we did see the minutes go up, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that people were binging it. So you might not have had as many actual viewers. You just had people binging it that last week because it clearly fell off the charts the week after and was no longer seen. So I don't think people were actually coming back to watch your show. And now we're having a rumor that it's being canceled because of poor audience reception. So I think that people became apathetic and they stopped watching your show and they weren't angry anymore. And you even admitted they stopped posting those comments. To me, that indicates that they stopped watching your show altogether. So it couldn't happen to a better show that it's getting canceled. I definitely think that these people created this show out of spite. And the people that they thought were going to be watching it clearly did not. They tuned out. They might have watched maybe the first couple or so episodes and then completely noped out, never to see it again. I guess the one thing that we will be missing is the actual entertainment we got from people roasting the show, which was probably more entertaining than the actual show itself. And I think that kind of tells you the state of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or as it's being colloquially called now, the MCU. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys make of this latest rumor that She-Hulk is getting scrapped because of poor, or the second season of She-Hulk is getting scrapped because of poor audience reception.